Hi there. I know it's been a while since I've talked to you, and this time I'd like to talk to you about stress. Obviously, stress is going to affect your happiness, and it's one of those things that we all have, but to varying degrees. And so I want to talk about it and see if we can't figure out a few things here that might either be helpful or indicators of when you have it, because sometimes you don't know you have stress. And one of the things I've learned is that if you don't handle your stress, what happens is you end up unhealthy. It will affect just about everything in your body, your digestion, uh, your breathing, everything, because it's like putting a clamp on you. You no longer are freely doing things. It's like having to go through extreme um, weather or something. It's resists you. It causes resistance in everything. And your body doesn't like that. It likes to be free to do what it wants. So let's talk about it. So there are really, some would say four kinds of stress, but I would say three. Judging from the information I found, it seems to be reliable. So we've got acute, chronic, and episodic. So basically, what we're talking about here is if you have the occasional bit of stress that you're aware of. For example, everybody has things like a little tension at work, or you've had an argument with a friend, or maybe your family is is clamping down on you and giving you a few headaches. So that can be a problem. So that would be just episodic. Acute is when the things that are happening to you, like say there's many things in a row, you suddenly there's just too many of them and you have no uh, idea about how to handle it. So then it becomes something that you might need help with. We know that when something becomes chronic, it's something that is there as a reaction all the time. So these things are really difficult to deal with. You'll find yourself not being able to sleep, or if you do sleep, your dreams are really horrific or upsetting, um, and you can't figure out where they're coming from. Like what's starting this? You find yourself irritable with everybody, not all the time, but maybe once in a while. And if it starts to get to be a regular thing, then you need some professional help. But there are other things too, like maybe you're unable to focus your attention. You find that your mind wanders all the time, and you're somewhere else. You're never right there present, and you startle easily. Somebody talks to you or says your name, and you're jumping because you're very sensitive. So there are all kinds of indicators to tell you when things are bad. So I know that most of you have a pretty good idea when you're tense. But when things are hidden, in other words, when something traumatic has happened in your past, say, and you haven't dealt with it, this is when stress can become a regular thing in your life and you start thinking that's who you are. And I think that's really dangerous because you don't get a chance to be you. And I think you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And boy, that takes courage. It does. It really does. And I can tell you, I've had occasions in my life that were really stressful and I didn't feel were fair or it made me wonder why they happened and all the rest. But what you have to do is realize that if you've done everything you possibly can to remedy the situation, and it's still bad, and there are many people involved, then basically you've done your part. So don't feel bad or don't let others pressure you into thinking that this is all one person's fault, because if you didn't start it and it started somewhere else, then you have that knowledge to fall back on. So you can just decide to let it go, and then you can go to you and be yourself and do other things. But you do have to face these things. Um, and in this world right now, where we have all kinds of people who are being negative, like even online, you can't seem to post anything without offending somebody. I think what you have to do is just decide you've taken a course. You're not being unfair. You're not being unjust. You're looking up and researching your answers or your position. And then just indicate to people that this is the way you feel. But be open-minded. Allow yourself to hear what other people are saying. You can't dig in your heels and then just never open your mind again, because there are all kinds of things to learn out there, and they're wonderful. You could miss those. You could end up, because you're so stubborn or because you just won't think there's another alternate route or another way to think about something, miss all kinds of fun and good stuff. So don't do that to yourself. Um, but at the same time, when people are really picking you apart and there doesn't seem to be a reason for it, and the comments aren't even related to what you're talking about, these are the kind of things that can create a lot of stress. So I want you to think about what response you would give in order for you to heal as well. And when I had several, like I have a blog and so forth and a website, and I write on LinkedIn and that kind of thing because I'm a writer. So my feeling is that what you should be doing is being the best version of yourself. If you're being honest to yourself and as kind and considerate as you can be, that's good enough. You can tell people that this is what you believe, that you've researched it, that you be open to hearing what their viewpoint is and looking over their research, because let's face it, if they don't have anything to back it up, then there might not be a reason, except they just want to vent. We have plenty of those online. Don't let them get under your skin. This is a common tactic with trolls, and there's all kinds of trolls in real life too. So don't let anybody take away your power. Be who you are. Don't let that stress end up making you into some sort of a, a pathetic version of yourself, because you've taken it too far. You've gone down the rabbit hole. It takes knowing yourself and knowing when to pull back. That's something I had to learn. When you're younger, I think you figure you're the only one that knows something. And you have a certain arrogance, and you don't think it's arrogance. You think you're just standing up for yourself, that you're being assertive. But in the end, sometimes it can be that way if you don't open up your mind to other ideas. And what I mean by that is you don't have to agree with them down the line, but you have to at least listen and be willing to, because you want that from other people. So you have to be able to give it. And here's another thing to think about when it comes to stress. Most people who believe in the universe and they know that there is an alternate power that is guiding you and that will help you through life don't find they are stressed, at least not on a continuous basis. They address things. They ask the universe for help. They know, first of all, that they will never be given anything that they can't handle. And that's the neat thing about the universe. It knows you, the real you. So knowing that should relax you because it means that you don't have to put yourself in a spot where you can't get out of it. So try to be your own best friend if you can. Um, but kindness and sensitivity to others is kind of rare these days, and it's a very special gift if you can give it to people. Um, when I was involved in a crisis line, it's something that I did because I wanted to help. But to do it, you have to be able to not just sympathize, but show empathy. And for many out there who don't really understand empathy, it's where you are able to understand where the person is coming from, but you're not necessarily falling into the same way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like you remove yourself emotionally from the whole thing. But being empathetic means that you are there to listen. It means that you care. And so many people just need that audience, and they need somebody to care. It doesn't take much to do that. It's a gift if you can give it without it draining you. Like you'd have to know your own limits and when to pull back. And you will find that because you do this and have this mindset, the universe provides you with more of the same so that you have more people around you who have the same thinking as you do. And that in itself is very relaxing. That you'll find that you're not questioning everything you do, so you're not stressed about that. It's the knowledge that all that knowledge that anybody ever obtained or has is out there, and the universe will provide you with what you need. So I keep telling you that there is such a thing because it's true for me. It took me years to find it. And some people never find that, but they find something like religion. And the interesting thing about that is, even if you don't believe in the entity that these religions believe in, prayer is involved. And one of the things that you do when you believe in the universe is you are assuming that there is a power that you can talk to. So in the same way as somebody sends a prayer, you can do the same thing in terms of talking to that entity. Except in this case, you're not believing that the entity is taking a physical form. It's more of an actual power, like energy. So that's my words of wisdom for today. I just want you to know that as a person who's been through a great deal and come out the other side, there is a much happier world for you if you just look for it and believe. And I really think that you can handle most things if you understand that. Okay? Thank you for coming, and thank you for listening. And I really appreciate you being there. So please subscribe and tell your friends. And I'd like to hear your experiences too when I talk about the different subjects, because that helps us all. And that's the point. I'm here to try and help if I can. So thank you. And let's do this again. It was fun.